Hey, it's your girl Jazzy K from Super Tight TV. We want to thank everyone who's been watching and subscribing. And if you enjoy this content, please hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time we drop a new video.
You're not tuned into something super tight. Puffin' something sticky, nigga, I roll through the light. Need to hear something real just to get me through the night. I'm looking for them jackets cause I know they looking shy. Know I'ma get some game tuned in with super tight, yeah. I get the low love from Big Bobo, from the front seat, not no photos.
Already, baby, what it do? It's your big dog, Bubba Luciano in the house. We don't thank y'all again for tuning in to Super Tight TV because we back up your back going smack, 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 just like that. I'm talking about, I'm here with my sexy ass, gorgeous, beautiful wife.
It's your girl Jazzy K.
Man, I'm sitting here with a legend. I bring out a lot of legends. You know what I'm talking about? I put out all the stops.
You did your thing tonight.
I bring the big guns out.
Yeah.
And right now I got a bazooka in here. In case y'all don't know, maybe it's a rocket launcher. You might have to get on one knee and get this one off. You know what I'm talking about?
Whole Nagasaki up in
Yeah, we're going to drop a nuclear bomb on them today, man. Today, I got 4 words on. This man has been to California, Atlanta, all over the world.
Yeah.
New York.
I touch them all.
This man has done production for some of the greats. He was instrumental in helping start Death Row Records.
Yeah.
The man was a youngster out there wilding in Los Angeles, California.
For sure.
I want to bring to the stage the man really, I'm just talking because the man really don't need no introduction. I got Erotic D in the house.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Ruthless King.
Yeah.
The Ruthless One.
The most ruthless king.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm glad to be here, but I probably wouldn't have been if it wasn't for your previous guest.
Hey.
Which one?
Will Fresh.
But you know what? You was coming.
Yeah,
I already talked to you about it, remember?
Yeah, we talked.
Oh, yeah.
I was saying I wouldn't have been here tonight.
Oh, yeah.
He wanted to share his time with his
Matter of
brother.
fact, it wasn't even 5 second thought. You want me to call Erotic? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. What you talking about? It wasn't 5 minutes later.
Yeah.
He coming.
Yeah.
That's okay, bro. That's how we do it. That's how I want to do it.
Anytime he called, I'm coming.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate you, man, because you weren't going to come for me.
Oh, yeah. I was waiting for that invite. I was waiting for the invitation.
Come on, man. I had to really show people we was doing it. You know, a lot of people say they want to do it because it wasn't easy. Promise you that it wasn't easy. You about to find out. You about to find out.
Well, I got a built-in thing on the one I'm doing. It's not really going to be guest-driven in this sort of way. But I do have guests lined up. Like I got people.
You got a team.
I got Battle Cat flying in from LA. I got the Glove flying in from LA.
Come on.
We doing it.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm starting with my kids. My kids are my first guest on January 2nd on my show.
That's beautiful.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
You know,
man.
they all work in the entertainment business with me.
What's the baby girl name?
Gigi.
Yeah.
She got her first movie coming out in 2020.
The star of the family.
She thinks she is.
I said I could tell by the sassiness of the picture taken. She posed.
She's a monster. She's the closest to dad. You know, like in attitude and approach to business.
Oh, got you.
Oh yeah.
Got
She
How old is she?
Serious. She's 9.
Okay, so she's my
Our
daughter's
youngest one.
Bust her first check when she was 8. I'm a proud dad on that. I negotiated her first paycheck when she was 8 years old, doing
That's
her first
what's
movie.
up.
Good, man.
And my boys all got albums out produced by me.
So talk about this. When is the movie coming out?
They haven't set a date yet, but they did call me the other day and ask me how she wanted to be credited. So I guess it's close.
Platform, you know?
I think it's theatrical.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's a big check.
But you know, me and her, we debate on whose movie matters the most. You know, I got a movie I'm in this year too.
Okay.
Come on.
Yeah, it's a documentary.
Okay. You do.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we're gonna talk about all that.
Yeah.
But first I'm about to blow my wad and I don't want to do that.
Wait, what?
Huh?
Pause?
No. Every blue moon I gotta throw one of them them curveballs out there. I'm talking about. I didn't get to throw one for Willie Fresh, but I threw one. I'm gonna throw a couple for you to
I
make
hit
up for
home
Willie
runs
Fresh.
off them.
Come on, I know you do. I'm gonna kick it to my sexy ass, gorgeous, beautiful wife, and let her get this thing started.
Let's do
I
it.
thought you. Oh,
You about to get it started, though, right?
okay. All right, Mr. Erotic.
Yes, ma'am.
For those that don't know, which I don't know, but let the people know where you from.
That's more complicated than people think. I've never been asked
It's
that
not
question.
that hard. Where was you born?
I was born in Dallas.
Okay.
People think I was born in Fort Worth, but I was a military kid. I
Okay.
never lived in Dallas because of the military. When we got out of the military, Dad moved us to Arlington.
So
Okay.
where do you consider?
I consider Arlington home.
Agtown.
Yeah.
Already. So I didn't know that. I thought it was always Funky Town.
All my family is in Dallas. Well, I did my dirt in Funky Town, so I had to give,
Yeah.
the love there.
Yeah.
I had to give it the home moniker. But if I'm thinking home, the heart, that's Arlington.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Dub.
What high school did you go to in Arlington?
Arlington High.
Okay, already.
Yeah, I was killing shit up in there too. Like that's when I started the Erotic D thing.
You
when I
started
was
doing
in high
beats and okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. You
But when
tell-
I was in junior high school, then high school, I started out at 13.
okay. So in your family, how many siblings
3.
were you following?
I'm the oldest. Then I have 2 sisters. They're twins, and then a brother.
Okay, okay. Already, they all live in the metroplex.
I think one of the twins lives in Atlanta now, that's weird because they never separated before like that.
Wow.
I have twin sisters too.
Yeah, yeah. So they usually follow each other, but one of them's here and one of them's in Atlanta.
Already.
So when y'all were in the when your father was in the military, where are some of the places you lived?
Oh man, we lived in a different state or country every year till I was about 10 or 11. So like Korea, we lived in North Carolina, Kentucky, El Paso. That was one of my favorite places. We lived in I think Hawaii. We lived every year was a different place.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
You enjoyed that?
Loved it. I think that's the reason why I've had the adult life I've had,
Yes.
being able to do the things I do because the military made it where I can deal with any kind of person.
The chameleon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel
And
you,
I don't
man.
get attached to things because of the movement.
That part.
So let me ask you this, since you said that, because I hear everything people say. Is it hard to find a woman like that? Keep a woman?
No. I've been married twice. One time for 10 years, one time for 19 years.
Oh, okay, so
I keep mine.
Okay, good.
Well, they don't want to go nowhere.
Already. Already, man. Well, congratulations on that, because some brothers won't jump
Right.
that broom at all.
Nah, so I have 4 kids. 3 of them were born to marriage, right? So
Already.
they were planned.
Good deal, man. Yeah, you look like you was about to ask something. Okay, so we in junior high school.
Yeah.
What junior high school was that?
Carter Junior High School.
Carter Junior High School in Agtown, Arlington, Texas.
I also went to D.A. before I got in
What?
school. Yeah, I lived in Pleasant Grove for a little bit.
Well, not the school. How you go to Hustle living in the Grove?
I lived right there across the street from Comstock, and they sent me to Hulsey.
Wow.
Hustle's in Oak Cliff.
That's where I went when I lived in Pleasant Grove.
The school
Wow.
with no windows.
Yeah, I hated that school.
Yeah, the school with no windows.
I was
Yeah,
dying to
it was
go to
like-
Comstock. It was like I was supposed to be there the year that Roots came out. And I heard Roots caused some problems up in Comstock.
Oh, yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah,
Wow.
I wanted
I'm
to
like,
see that.
Hustle look like a compound.
Yeah,
It almost looked like a small penitentiary.
it did. Well, I've been there now, so yeah, kind of felt like that.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? You can't even see outside.
Mhm.
My oldest sister came out of
I only went there
to
one year in
Hustle.
the 6th grade.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, 6, 7, and 8. So you telling your
I
age.
only went there 6th, and then
I was just saying that's back when it was 6, 7, and 8 grade.
No, it stopped at 6 when I was going.
Hulsey?
I was supposed to go to Comstock in the 7th grade.
Oh, really?
Yeah, at that time, and I was looking forward to going there. My parents was like, "We going to Arlington." I was like,
There you go. That was a culture shock.
"It was racist as a motherfucker."
In Arlington?
Hell yeah. You wouldn't be able to tell now because
Right.
the blacks have invaded the
Oh,
place. But it wasn't like that when I got there.
What year was that?
I was like 11 or 12, so it was like 81, 82.
Yeah.
You could walk down the street and get called nigga Like it wasn't nothing. Like it was just
Normal.
Like they spitting out the window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just normal. Every day. Hey, nigga.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's crazy. It's a trip, the plight that the black, when I say men, I mean race.
The race, yeah.
Has had to deal with.
Yeah, I had to deal with it. And so I did some mischievous things to, get back at some of the white kids that would do that. It was cowardly. They would ride by you and do it. They wouldn't do it in your face. Unless you're getting ready to fight. Mm-hmm. Then you're getting ready to fight, then you get called down. You know what I mean? But if you're not having a problem with them, they hide it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
But that's that was our life in Texas. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I can't even say Dallas. That was our life in Texas.
Yeah. Facts.
My daddy from East Texas, Tyler, and they was racist down there. Ooh. Yeah. Whew.
I got family in Terrell.
Oh yeah. That's East Texas.
That's where our family reunions be at.
In Terrell, Texas? Mm-hmm. Already. So
middle school, you said, is where the music.
Mm-hmm.
When I was 13, I started DJing.
What made you want to?
How did that?
So I think it started when I was about 8. Like my old man, my dad, he accidentally set me on the path that I've been on my whole life since about 8. He was kind of a DJ. He didn't DJ in clubs or outside of our house, but the man had double copies of every record you could think of. And I would sneak and play his records. And when he left, I would play his records. At that age, I didn't know I was leaving fingerprints on his record. I'm thinking I'm sneaking to do it.
Yeah.
So he finally pulls me to the side one day. My parents believed in corporal punishment, right? So I'm surprised I didn't get my ass whooped, but he just pulled me to the side and was like, I don't want you messing with my records when I'm gone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start giving you an allowance. When you have enough money to buy your own record, just tell me. I'll take you to Sound Warehouse and get you your own records.
I read it.
And so that kind of set me up to understand, like when we started doing it, it made me go, oh, if I got the money, I can have whatever I want.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the way I live to this day. I don't ask for loans. I ain't never had no bank loans for none of the businesses I own. It's like, go get that bread.
And then go get what you want.
Go get what I want.
Already. That's a good mentality to have, man. Because a lot of people get stuck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They be like, man, I wish I had.
No, I don't wish nothing.
Well, that's real.
Yeah.
You know how many rappers in Dallas was looking for executive producers?
I do.
You know, a lot of them. You know,
and ain't none of them want to give you the loyalty that they asking for, though. Not most of them. You know what I'm saying?
You mean the rappers?
Yeah. The rappers, they ain't got no loyalty here, man. You got to, and I ain't saying everybody.
There's a lot of them.
I'm just saying that our best ones, I'll say, don't want to be loyal to they don't want to be loyal to one situation. They want to be able to jump around, and that's not how this business works.
Yeah. And they sure will do that.
Yeah.
They getting their feelings, be like, I'm gone.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, they're with the next camp.
You can't even tell them, no, I ain't got money to get you a hamburger. Next thing you know, they're going to go over to somebody that'll get them a hamburger or whatever. You know, I'm exaggerating, but it's, I've helped a lot of people get deals here, and the people that I could have helped get deals, I didn't, because they didn't want to stay focused on the team part of it.
Yeah. Me.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Everybody's the main one.
Mm-hmm.
So it all started from DJing.
Yeah. So at 13,
started from playing his daddy records.
From playing daddy records. So he bought me my own like a little turntable. I think it was supposed to be for me and my siblings, but everybody knew I was the one that liked the record. So
it's mine.
So it was basically mine. So when I was about 13, I went and got a couple of turntables and some speakers. None of that stuff matched. The speakers didn't match. The turntables didn't match. But a friend of mine who lived in these apartments in Arlington was like, we got this clubhouse over here. You should come see it. And so at that time, you had to live in the apartments to rent the clubhouse.
Yeah.
So that person went into the office with me. At 13 years old, I rented this clubhouse. They charged me $100 deposit. They give me the deposit back as long as I clean up, right?
Yeah.
So I did this for about, like, my first party was super packed because, I was scratching and all that. It was new. So people wanted to see that.
Right.
So everybody's coming to it. And
at 13.
At 13, man. And so I had a lot, I credit my junior high school and high school friends with me end up eventually working with Dre and the Jacksons and all that, because we know your friends can be cruel when you're young.
Yeah. And
tell you, that ain't gonna be nothing, you ain't gonna be, but my friends were like, do that shit. Do it, all of them.
Already.
So when I got the clubhouse, I asked when I went to go pick up my deposit, I said, is your clubhouse free for next Saturday? And that became a thing I did every Saturday. I would ask them, is it free, and give them the money back. Well, this lady finally told me, I wish I remember her name, but she finally said, you have these parties every week, and you do good, you do well when you clean up. There ain't never any damage. So why don't you ask your mom to write us $100 check, and we will never cash it, because we give you the deposit back anyway. It's no sense in you giving us cash every week, and then we got to give it back to you. So she was like, if you get your mom to give us a check, we won't cash it. And if we end up needing to charge you for some damage or whatever, we'll just give you the chance to pay cash. So my mom, to my surprise, she did that. She came up there with me and left the check. Years later, when I got done doing this thing with this lady, that check was still in the same drawer she put it in. So she kept her word.
Wow.
I kept my word. We never ever had damage in this thing. And then when I was 15, I was playing a record, and I had never been that interested in girls. It was all about the music. But I was seeing dudes grinding on chicks to records I played.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn.
I'm working and they playing.
Yeah. So I was like, well, I can make these records I'm playing. I literally said that to myself. I can make these records that I'm playing. I had never had any musical training or nothing. It just seemed simple to me.
Yeah.
And so I remember my first rap that I wrote, I just rewrote Sucker MCs by Run DMC. That's how I learned how to that's how I learned what went into writing a song. Then I think I took Genius of Love and tried to remake it music-wise, which eventually that's what I became known for in the actual music business, being able to recreate an old record like it sounds like the actual record.
Oh, wow.
But it took me a few hits and misses. Like, I would be like, why does my shit sound empty compared to, I did everything. It would be a guitar missing or a piano missing. I didn't know what these instruments were.
Yeah.
I actually didn't learn how to play instruments till after I had hit records. I didn't really know how to listen to a record and say, oh, that's this, that, and the third. So I was just hiring musicians who could come in and say, oh, that's what this is, and then just play it.
Play it for you.
Yeah. So I didn't learn the fundamentals of that till probably after The Chronic came out, then Helter Skelter. Right around the time I did a D.O.C.'s second album, I was kind of coming into an understanding of instruments.
Already.
But I had made a whole lot of records before that. Made a
Get a
whole
good
lot of
run.
money.
Practice make perfect.
Made a whole lot of money, making a whole lot of records before that.
So you answered my question. I was like, well, what made you say, shit, I'm about to make it?
Yeah.
So it was watching the dudes out there playing.
Yeah, and then I just had that revelation one night while I was cleaning up. I was playing a record while I was cleaning up. I was like, I can do that. And did it.
You remember your first song?
Yeah, it was called Art of Rap.
Or the rap?
Yeah.
You did the beat? And
No, it was called If Rap Was a Trade, excuse me. Yeah. I did the beat, I wrote the words, and I recorded it on a 4-track.
What equipment did you have for
A
that?
Moog, which I didn't know what I had because
Boy, you got rid of that?
I went and pawned in my.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did, but I went in. But let me tell you something. It was a stepping
Stop
stone.
it. Where'd you get it from?
A
First of
pawn
all?
shop. I was getting
A baby or a real one?
I got a baby one and a memory and a big memory Moog. So back in the 80s, you could get Moogs in the pawn shop. Like,
I remember seeing them and then I thought they was trash.
yeah. So
Yeah,
I'm
because
thinking
it
it's
looks so
trash.
ugly.
I'm thinking straight. I'm like, this thing don't do nothing.
Tells Joy Clinton that.
Yeah,
Joy Clinton that.
I told you I didn't really know instruments, so I didn't know about oscillators and changing, the frequencies on these moves like I know now.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting them back later. They weren't the same ones, but not the ones I pawned, but I went and collected all of them later.
Already. And so you're making tracks.
Yeah.
When did you decide to start making tracks for other people?
Yeah.
So that was an accident. So when I first started writing the songs, I got when I started DJing, I was DJing with a partner.
Okay.
And he was more popular at school than I was. But I was more focused on the DJing, so it was a good little marriage, in that sense. So when we migrated over to rap, he was my rap partner.
Okay.
Then he got a girl. they
Ruined it all.
They started doing stuff. And I started writing his raps because he wasn't showing up to our we actually used to practice our raps. So I started writing his raps. That's how I got good at writing for other people. And then I met this group called Debonair Dimension, and we did this record called Freebase 9000, and that record took off. Like it was a local hit record. Excuse me. And so on that record, I was the young one, you know. I remember when they came, somebody had told them about me. They came to my house and wanted me to audition as a DJ. And I remember I put my turntables on the floor and start scratching for them. And then right then they were like, "You in the group?" they were already, pretty much damn near grown. And so by the time the second record came around, I didn't know they were hustlers. I didn't know they were out there doing it. And they were doing it big.
Yeah.
So they were leaving me in the crib with the SP1200. They had bought all of that. And I started learning how to use it. And then I would write them whole songs. And then they started recording these whole songs and we put them out. And I just kept doing that for other groups. And I ended up doing it for this female rapper named Miss Allen. Mm-hmm. And I'm skipping a lot of things because I did a lot to get to before I got to California, like messing with Fresh and Mike and all of them. I would just show up at his crib. Well, me and Fresh would talk on the phone a lot. And he was in college and I was still in high school. And I remember a couple of times I rode my bike to his house because he was living by UTA and I was living in Arlington.
How'd y'all make the connection if you was young like that?
Somebody, I mean, at 13, I was out there in them streets. Like,
He was really outside.
Yeah, I was everywhere. I didn't care if I had to walk, ride a bike, or get a ride because I didn't get my first car till I was like 20, 21. Yeah. So I just had a lot of love out there. People were just doing for me, you know. So when this guy introduced me to Will, me and him hit it off, and I just took it upon myself. Like when I want to get something done, I don't wait on the other person. I just be like, I'm coming, or I'm in your direction. I'm headed over there. And so I would take records with me and say, hey, Will, you heard this sample? Y'all should use that. You know what I'm saying? I just gave away the music to certain people that I loved and I thought they had. That I thought they felt the same way about music that I did. Yeah. So I was sharing it. Mm-hmm. And so I keep that same mentality today. I tell people like the only way you're going to be successful is if you in service to other people. That's how rich people get rich. You ain't never seen a business or somebody get rich and they ain't providing something, right? Yeah. So I figured that mentality out early. You know, if you want to step into these rooms with big people, make sure you come with something big. And so that's what I did. Even when I got to California, I was the best person in the room.
Oh, really?
You know, when I got there. And I'm talking about including the other guy.
So let me ask you a question. What prompted you to go to California?
Just saying I was good enough to be where they was at.
Did you go before Doc or at the same time?
I went. So that's a thing that I think people probably should have cleared up for them. I didn't even go because of Doc. I went on my own with my own group. And right before we got ready to go, Doc still had his voice at this time. He came to my studio in Fort Worth and was like, I've been telling everybody in California about y'all and they want y'all up there. And so he said, I'm gonna come back in April to get y'all. And, you know, of course I already knew him because I also wrote a whole album for Dr. Rock called Flowing with the Rhythm. I wrote that whole record and produced it.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So,
history lesson. Come on.
So I used to DJ.
How old were you then?
I was like probably about 17, 18.
Damn.
Yeah. And so I used to DJ with Rock too at like some of his summer parties. Like if he got a DJ for K104 out in the field, I would go. And I figured, like, I eventually was like, oh, this dude using me. He going to get the chicks while I'm over here cutting and scratching because I'm loving this. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, when Rock and Doc started having problems, I didn't even know anything about that. Doc came to ask me to, you know, meet him in Cali. He never came back. And we were pissed. Well, he didn't come back because he had a wreck and messed his voice up. So Doc, from saying that he wanted us to go, I think people thought Erotic D got up there because of Doc. Erotic D got up there in spite of Doc. That's how I felt. When I was going, this fool didn't come back. We going on our own. And so it was just the universe had it all lined up for us because God is my witness. The day we were pulling out, me, Miss Allen, and my boy Jonesy, may he rest in peace, this dude named Donnell, who you saw in that picture that you asked me about with Rodney G. Donnell was in that picture too.
That's who I'm asking you. Remember I asked you earlier? That's the guy.
Oh, that's Donnell.
That's who I'm talking about.
He used to work for Sony and all that when all the WIA was here.
Okay.
And so I used to be in his office at like
That's
14.
his name.
Yeah, I used to be in his office. All them offices at 14, 15 years old. Everybody knew me. I'd be up in their offices sleeping on their floor. They would come get me before they go to work. Be like, you can come stay with me all day.
Fuck schools, kid.
No,
come on up here.
It'd be the summertime.
Just fuck school. You ain't gotta go.
Summertime.
Oh, okay.
So Donnell pulls up like right when literally I had a studio in Fort Worth and we getting ready to pull out and he pulls up and says, this dude named Suge Knight told me to come get y'all. And we was like, Suge who? And like, he's D.O.C.'s bodyguard. And when I look back on that, I'm like, wow, God and the universe was really messing with me. Like, cause I never had to submit no demo. I've never had to do what you see on TV where you go in somebody's office and rap for them. None of that. I ain't had it. I literally walked into California and lit California up. Like I did my part for California. And had to kind of always defend Dallas Fort Worth, you know what I'm saying? Because they always wanted to say I was the only thing here besides Doc. And so I would be on the phone with Fresh every day, like, you should be up here because this is good. This is fixing to be big.
Yes.
And so I would tell Fresh every move we were making from NWA because I started out. So the way I ended up getting on was Suge guided us in. I had the big old Motorola phone. So Suge was literally the first person I ever saw when I got to California. And
how was he acting back then?
He was fascinated with Texas. California is fascinated with Texas. So if you're from Texas and you got talent, you can go up there and you got a place.
Already.
So the first question he asked me is, you want a bro? Because that's how he hears us. They hear Texas say it. So that was the first thing he ever said to me, you want a bro? I was like, what? You want a bro? Ain't that how y'all say beer in Texas? I'm like, nah, I don't drink bro or beer. And I remember like being relieved because here we wasn't gang banging.
Yeah.
So me and my group go out there with these big ass red jackets with our names on them. And good thing Suge was a blood, right? So he was like, that was the second thing he said to me. He tapped me on my chest. I like that jacket. It didn't even hit me at that time. So where we met him was at this guy named Tom Klein. That's a white dude. Bunch of money. This was his office, but it ended up being death row offices because Suge ended up taking it from him. But the dude they were paying me like $2,000 a week to stay in California and work on top of whatever I was getting paid. So they made it real good for me right away.
Yeah.
And I told Suge my plan. We came here to do two things. This was you asked me what made me go there. I would look at the back of Eazy-E records because there was no NWA record yet. I would look at the Eazy-E records and see where they recorded, what engineer they used, and we stacked our bread to go there and work in that same studio so we could meet them.
Already.
And so that's that. I told Suge my plan about that. So Suge, instead of taking me hat in hand to Dre and Easy, he took me straight to Brian Turner at Priority. Brian Turner gave me a deal, and he's the one who said, now I need you to help Dr. Dre finish NWA's record. That's how I started working with Dre. It didn't have nothing to do with Doc. It had everything to do with my own work. Niggas for Life. He said, Dre is 2 years behind. We need you to help him with this record. So he signed my group, gave us an unlimited budget. We would work with NWA and then work on our stuff. And when Easy and them would leave the studio, when NWA would be finished recording, they would leave. Just me and Dre and Miss Allen and Jonesy would be in the studio with Donovan, the dirt biker.
Yeah.
because that was who I was going to pay to work. And I remember the first time I went up there and mixed, because I would record here at Planet Dallas, and I took it to mix there. Remember I first played that for you, Fresh, when I mixed and mastered with Donovan, and sir. Fresh was like, man, do y'all have reverb on that kick? I'm like, yeah, that's some shit they do to make the kick harder. You know, so the white boy was teaching me how to mix my records, you know what I'm saying? So I mix all of my own records to this day, but it was a crash course for me and Dre working with Donovan. Okay. Donovan taught us everything about
What's Donovan's last name?
Sound.
Okay.
Ironically. He used to live in the mountains, and we would be tripping because he'd come down with this big old beard.
That's the big white boy that used to be with him all the time.
Yeah, with the flannel shirts. I'm like, man, it's hot as hell. What? He was like, I live in the mountains. It's snowing up there.
Let me tell you a story about him.
Yeah.
Story time.
I told y'all.
Oh my goodness, that's funny.
You may have heard me say that Nemesis was opening up for Doc on that tour, that first tour he did right after he had the accident, where he was lip syncing.
Yeah,
and they came to South Dallas in Fair Park.
I remember that.
Let me tell you, because we had just left New Orleans with him. Came and we was here in South Dallas. Were you at that concert?
I was.
So you remember the big fight?
I do. With Curtis Blow.
Curtis Blow. Is that Donovan? Is that big white boy?
Donovan wasn't there. No.
Okay, who's that big white boy, the big biker?
That may have just been security.
He was security. Yeah, but
Donovan was just an engineer.
Okay, okay. He looked like a biker too.
Yeah.
Big white boy with the big...
I know who you're talking about. I can't remember his name. He was just security.
That was a hell of a fight on
jumped.
stage.
That's who they jumped, right?
They jumped him.
Yeah.
Yeah. He hit one of them with a flashlight, and it was lights out for him after that. Ice-T was walking around with the pump.
Yeah, because Ice-T thought they was coming for him.
Bro.
That's my boy, by the way, Ice-T.
They was shooting like crazy in that parking lot.
Yeah.
We had to go upstairs, and you could actually see the parking lot and fire just coming out from guns. I was like,
crazy.
I said, look at, and Ice-T was walking around with that AK. I said, where you get that AK from? We just got off the plane.
Yeah.
Where you stashed that?
Checked in with somebody.
Yeah. It must have been on the bus.
Yeah, had to be.
Yeah, man. I sat next to Darlene on the plane.
Oh, Darlene is my homie, man. She cool.
And what's the who was his producer? Bambaataa?
Evil E.
No, Bambaataa.
Oh,
African Bambaataa.
That was Africa Islam.
Africa Islam, I sat next to them on the plane. That was wild.
Yeah, them some good dudes, man. When we first got to LA, we hadn't met Ice-T, but everybody used to hang out at our crib because Suge got me a crib in the valley in Topanga Canyon, and we had the swimming pool, we had the basketball goals and all of that. And so this is when I realized, this is why I've always gotten people record deals, but this is why I've always refused to sign record deals. Erotic D as an artist has always put out his music independently, and I make a good living at that. But Tone Loc was coming to our crib.
Already.
I think Compton's Most Wanted was coming. All of them was broke. And I'm seeing them on the jukebox every fucking 5 minutes. I'm like, these niggas broke with record deals? I ain't doing that shit.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not doing it. So, couple weeks after we got there, my partner Jonesy was out on Sunset not paying attention because Sunset be having other sights.
Right.
He ain't looking at traffic, and he runs into Evil E, the DJ's, Ice-T's DJ, runs into the back of his BMW, you know. And I think our affiliations with Suge is what stopped them from getting mad at him, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it didn't take long for people to be like, we need to meet that kid from Texas. They didn't know my name. It was always like, we want that kid from Texas up in the studio with us. And that led me to working with the Jacksons, the whole family, you know, because they needed that kid from Texas to put them beats under their music.
And how old were you then?
I was 18. So I was 18 years old, working in the daytime with Dre, in the nighttime with the Jacksons. If I'd have died after those projects, I would have actually accomplished everything
For
I
sure.
was trying to
Okay.
do. 'Cause
You accomplished
them were
more
two
than
people-
what else is it?
most.
Yeah, there
What
were
else
two
is
people
it?
I wanted to work with.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like I had before, like 2 years before I went to LA, I never thought I was going to work with the Jacksons, but my whole wall in my bedroom was covered. There was no sheetrock. You couldn't see it nowhere. Covered with Tiger Beat and Right On magazine.
Yeah.
The front covers of all of Michael Jackson stuff. And here I am 2 or 3 years later. God must have made me do that because he knew what he had in my future.
And so you met Michael Jackson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, that family's so dysfunctional. We're like, the news don't even, the way you get the news don't even
Do it justice.
Like,
How was Mike?
He was cool. He was, they all real niggas.
Oh, yeah.
Like, for real.
I heard that.
Yeah.
I heard that about Mike.
Yeah, they don't, that
They say he wasn't soft at all.
At all. And I ain't never seen no kids around him. I only seen him with women.
Yeah.
And that whole family, they black people. They not, that whole Jackson thing is just an image that their dad put out there.
Well, I heard Gary, Indiana ain't no punk ass city, no way.
It's a scary place.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not fun in Gary. It's
I've
small.
heard that.
Yeah, it's small, it's dangerous.
Gangster.
Yeah. I went there to work with a group from Gary, probably around 92, 93.
Mm-hmm.
And it was crazy. I was like, nah, I ain't. Y'all gonna have to come to Texas. I need some protection.
I've heard the rumors.
Yeah.
And I heard Michael Jackson was not no punk.
No, he wasn't.
Wow.
No, he wasn't. And I got closest to Jackie. Excuse me. He was, so I had a deal with the Jacksons. I was only supposed to do drums under the music that this R&B dude was doing. His name is Wokey Stewart.
Mm-hmm.
He was doing Climax. He was married to the lead singer of Climax. He was doing
There's a meeting
in the ladies' room. Yeah.
Hey.
He did Keith Sweat. He did he did most of Christopher Williams' music. He did Silk's first 2 albums. And so he's huge.
Accomplished. Yeah.
And so he asked me to come do drums because Michael and them wanted hip hop drums under their R&B. And we couldn't finish the album because Jackie wanted to beat his daddy up. So
Did he?
He did not. He told him no. Like, I listened to him say. So what happened was like we were recording at Havenhurst, the house that y'all always see when they talk about the Jacksons, the house that they show.
Yeah.
That's the family house. So we were working there. They got a nice ass studio in that place, and so we working in the studio. Kids all have garages on this side, and the mother and father have a garage on this side.
Okay.
And Jackie parks his Ferrari in front of his garage door. Dad comes out in his Rolls Royce and hits that Ferrari. And he told Jackie, I ain't paying for shit. And Jackie was like, you paying for it, I'm going to whoop your ass right now. Dad was like, we shutting this shit down. We ain't doing no album. That was when the album ended. That's why we never finished it. It never came out. Because of that day, the dad was just like, nah. And y'all, you clowning like this, we ain't doing nothing. And we did.
How y'all get out?
Yeah, we were months deep into that album.
And we ain't heard from the Jacksons since.
No.
I mean, they hadn't dropped no music.
Nah, they salty at each other. Like, man, I had who Suge ended up naming Barney Rubble, Sean Thomas from here.
Okay.
He was singing Waited So Long with Dr. Rock. That was his big record with Rock. So that was like my brother. So he was living with me at the time. So and he plays keys like crazy and he writes songs. So when they asked me to come help. Yeah. Playing keys. Yeah. So when they asked me to come over, I told them that I wanted him to come because that's who I was used to. We had a language because I didn't know music. So we had a language. I could say, I need such and such. He didn't know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So I brought him and when we started working, he was there and me and him were kind of like trying to teach them how to work in a modern way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we were also trying to teach them how to talk black.
Oh, really? They were real proper talking.
Yeah. We want y'all to lower them voices and speak some slang.
Yeah. Who was the wildest one out of them?
Jackie.
Jackie was the wildest
Jackson.
one?
He out there acting a fool with the women and all of that, But then I say that, but then you got I think it was Marlon and Randy,
Yeah.
one of them cheated with the other one's wife.
Wow.
Married her.
Mm.
One of them ended up finding his wife dead in a swimming pool. All this while we doing all of this. And then Jackie was dating Sunshine from Harlem Nights at the time. She was just Layla
really?
Rashawn, yeah. So she would be in the studio with us, and I would just be like, I'd make them say nigga and all that, cause say it, man. And so then I remember one day Lola Falana come up in there. Nah, they actually do have bass in their voice. Just they had to learn how. They had to remember to turn off that TV voice.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying. They got to turn that off. I guess they grew up in a time where it felt like being black was a threat, and
it was a threat.
They were trying to get the white money.
Yes,
and that just stuck. So Lola Falana shows up one day.
Not Lola Falana.
Oh my God, that woman was so beautiful in person.
She was the one.
Even
the
at
first
her old
beautiful.
age,
yeah, she was
even
the first.
in her older age. She had the Halle Berry haircut before Halle Berry with the salt and pepper.
It was between her and Jane Kennedy.
Yes,
when we was
sir.
young.
Yes, sir. So those were all good times, man. I did a lot of work out there for a lot of people. I guess they call it today ghost producing or whatever. For me, it was always about the music. It wasn't really about the credit, and I was getting paid. So what am I gonna argue about?
What songs on Niggas for Life did you?
I can't tell you that. Like I just ain't never been the kind. Like I've made it my life. I made a decision to not be one of those dudes that run around trying to put everybody on blast.
Got you. That's cool.
They had Brian Turner sat me down and me and Dre talked. And they were honest from the jump. Like, we need your help, but Dre has the name, so we got to put Dre's name on this stuff.
I get you.
And I respected that conversation. And I think they do that. They probably do that with everybody. So why is everybody running around here mad because Dre getting credit for their work? Don't take the money.
I ain't really heard nobody. Well, I'm not gonna say I haven't. Well, Scott Storch, but even back when Mailman and all them was doing these, they wasn't really salty, were they?
Yeah, they salty today.
Wow.
Yeah, shit. Mailman's my homie, and I think he might be working with Dre again. So the cool thing about Dre is when you work with him once, you can work with him forever. Like Dre is one of the most down to earth dudes ever. That's why Doc keep getting back in. Doc done that boy so many. They get into it like real brothers. And long as you go back and have that talk, you ain't got to kiss the ring. You ain't got to kiss no ass. You just go have that talk.
They came to Dallas one time doing the Before Niggas for Life Straight Outta Compton album. Dallas Nights.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And everybody was there, you heard NWA, was like, man, these some gangsters, man. And all of them sitting there with the mean mug on their face, easy.
There was only one gangster in that group.
And then Dre was just smiling. Friendly with everybody.
Still is.
Yeah. I was like, this dude ain't like the rest of these dudes, is he?
The rest of the dudes wasn't like that either. Easy was the only gangster in that group, and he was still friendly. Yeah.
So you met Eazy-E.
Yeah, that was my guy.
Tell me about it.
Funny. That's all I can really tell you. That dude was funny. And I'm talking about I don't know what. So I think my approachability, like my down to earthness, and being able to, anybody can ask me whatever for anything, I take care of them, whatever, came from watching them dudes.
Okay.
Because even at their height, they taking care of everybody. They were laughing with everybody. They were loving on everybody, you know what I'm saying? Behind the scenes. And whenever I come in the studio, Dre is like, there go the superstar. He talked to you like that.
Wow.
He don't wait for you. He don't expect you to be like, oh Dre. He be like, Erotic motherfucking D. As soon as you walk in the door, he greets me like that. I don't know about how he does everybody else, but I do know I ain't never seen him mistreat anybody. And I take strangers up in the studio with me and he treats them like he'll ask somebody, you write? Even if you don't know you, if you write songs, he'll be like, write something to this beat. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And if he like it, he'll use it. Don't matter where it come from. So I think I took my cues from watching these dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like, these niggas got it all, and they are, well, you think they got it all, because me and Dre had a conversation before we started working on The Chronic. Matter of fact, the first session, me and Dre was sitting in his car listening to, he had a Benz, a brand new Mercedes-Benz, and we listening to the mastered version of Niggas for Life. He had just picked it up. And we listened to the whole record, and we talked about how, you know, he had a cold on this song when he did these lyrics, these vocals, and all that. Then at the end, I was like, man, I like this car, nigga. Yeah. And Dre told me, this is all I got. And I was like, see, I ain't doing no record deals with these niggas, man. He's like, this is all I got. Let's go upstairs and get some more. That was how the first day we started working on The Chronic, there was no Snoop Dogg, there was no Corrupt. That all came later. When we started talking about The Chronic, it was just me, Suge, Doc, and Dre. And, you know, a couple of other dudes that probably ain't around anymore. Yeah.
So you've had a long career, lots of, you know, what's some of the major lessons you've learned that you can share?
The best lesson I've learned is, like, every day is great. You know what I'm saying? You don't have bad days, you have bad moments. And so I approach my life like that. So I'm happy every day. Mm-hmm. And what the major thing that I got out of that is, you like got two ways to solve a problem. That is, solve it or get past it. Yeah. Ain't no, don't let nothing stress you out, because tomorrow ain't gonna look like today. I mean, like, you can, as long as you keep pushing, you can change what yesterday looked like today. And you literally can go from not having anything to having everything in 24 hours.
And that's why I love tomorrow.
Yeah.
You crazy.
Yeah, I don't talk about, I got a motto where I tell people I don't talk about tomorrow. And people be mad about that. They be mad because I won't talk about the past. This is in my relationships, all of that. Like, if we had an argument yesterday, me and my girl, don't come talking to me about that today. We went to bed last night. That is what it is. If it's unsolved, if it's unresolved, it's unresolved. If we resolved it, why we gotta talk about it again? And so that's just how I am with everything, even in the music business. So I haven't had the nightmares in the music business that you be hearing about from some of these people. We create those stories. We create them issues for ourselves.
You were in LA when Easy passed?
No, I was in Atlanta doing Helter Skelter.
Helter Skelter at that time.
And we got the call, and one thing that puzzled the hell out of me is they called and asked us to come. And Doc said no. And I was riding with Doc, so I didn't go to the funeral. Doc said, no, I'm not going.
Okay.
So I'm like,
he had his reasons.
Yeah, work it is.
Yeah, he had his
reasons.
We
working. We had to pay for every sample of his that we used on that record. I would have been mad too.
Oh, yeah.
Every time I scratched something from No One Can Do It Better, we had to pay for that. We had to ask to use those scratches.
Well, it's the fuck shit.
Yeah.
But anyway, MC Breed.
My guy. Coolest guy in the business.
I'm bringing him out, huh? I'm going to ask you about that. Wasn't he?
Coolest guy in the whole business. Necessary.
Everybody gravitated towards
Breed. Yeah, because he get everybody paid.
How? Well, tell me this.
His record label loved him.
What label was that?
Itchy Bun.
I was about to say he was on Itchy Bun. Okay.
Got Tupac paid, got Warren G paid, Erotic D, Scarface, fucking Colin Wolf. He got D.O.C. paid and took songs from all of us. I wrote a lot of MC Breed's records that I produced.
Were you there when they did the New Breed?
Of course.
Ooh.
Of course.
Classic.
Yeah.
Classic album.
Me and Breed was still...
I could tell that was like a big party, joint venture type of album. I'm saying I could tell. In my mind, when I listened to that project, I said, man, it looked like they was in there sound like they was having fun. It sounded like it was just a group effort.
Every record should be that.
Man.
Every album should be a group effort. There should never be, and I'm going to say this on camera because it's some bullshit in hip hop where you think you got to write every word on a record.
Yeah.
You do not fucking have to write every word on a record. I've never been involved in one album where a rapper wrote every record.
Oh.
Every word on a record. Never.
I have.
Did that record go 10 times platinum?
No, it went platinum.
Then. Okay. Well,
It ain't too many. We ain't got too many.
We talking about 4, 5, 20 million? Them records ain't written by one nigga.
I believe it. But you know, in hip hop, it's not many diamond albums.
No. But that's why. Because they're not doing them by committee. They're not giving you the absolute best product they can give you. And that's what this is. This is a product-driven business. Give me your best. Don't give me some bullshit just because you got an ego.
Gotcha.
So, when we did Helter Skelter, the producer is writing raps for the D.O.C. too. Did I need to? Nah, he just wanted me to. He asked I got all 3 of my sons rap. Doc asked for verses from my kids, man.
Wow.
Because we understand these records gotta have
a home,
things. They gotta have levels. They gotta have action and adventure. And sometimes we're not thinking that way.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel what you're saying now.
Yeah. You know? You gotta get it from where you get it from.
You've had a crazy life.
Yeah.
I mean, we could go on and on and on and on and on. I'm trying to think if I'm missing something. I remember you had the studio over there for Mockingbird.
Yeah.
Big old joint.
Yeah.
I said, Ryder was in there whole by himself. I said, the walls was all burgundy looking. I said, what you, come on in, Bobo. Where's everybody, Ryder?
Yeah.
All this mine, Bobo.
All this mine. I don't do no partnership.
Yeah, man.
No, I ain't never had a
big ass studio.
Yeah.
When I say, I ain't talking about the size, I'm talking about the equipment.
Yeah.
The equipment was plush.
Yeah, still is. Still.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. We still living. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have to tell people all the time, like, because you don't see the OGs on TV no more, don't mean we broke.
No.
We living.
What you think about that boy saying that?
We spending some of that money.
You heard that statement, huh?
I did hear that, but I was saying that before that. He's a fool. He's a clown. Yeah. He's a clown just saying what he just getting the attention.
Clickbait.
Yeah, he just getting the attention. I was glad to see him, and I saw an episode of Joe Budden new podcast with academics on there with him. So I kind of was like, I like that.
Oh, they made up.
Yeah, I like that.
That's good.
And then Joe
he bred it up with that, with causing that controversy like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So man, like I was saying though, we still living. I'm still highly productive. Like, I started calling myself the king for 2 reasons. I told Flex over there, who's a great producer in his own right, people call you whatever you call you.
That's right.
People treat you how you treat yourself. So watch me start making people call me the king. Didn't I tell you that?
Yeah.
And they do. But I also did that out of love. Like, I said, if I love all of the artists and producers in Dallas, but nobody has been consistently producing great music in every era like I have. It ain't no whole shit. They ain't me trying to punk nobody.
Facts.
But if I'm not the king of staying on top of this shit, somebody will come and say I'm not. Ain't nobody said that. Because, number one, everybody's my brother. That could come and dispute that.
Yeah. You don't.
So if your people ain't disputing that, it's because you're not lying.
It's facts.
And I'm not saying it out of contempt, because I'll call him more than he called me. I'll be like, nigga, why ain't you answering your phone when I call you?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because for me, it's about progress and being productive. It's not about, the king thing is not about ego.
Yeah.
It's about motivating myself.
I knew you was finna say that.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it don't hurt that the girls call me that though.
King. They don't call you daddy. They don't call you daddy no more.
It's kind of started feeling weird, the daddy thing.
Once you get old, huh?
Yeah.
You're like, wait,
hold on,
wait a minute, baby.
Call me your king, please. Don't call me your daddy, especially during the special times together. Don't call me daddy.
So since we can't talk about writing credits, can we talk about production credits?
Well, that's the thing. Like,
as far as not Ghost Productions, Erotic D production.
Yeah. Man, those are extensive. Like,
You said the Jacksons.
yeah, the Jacksons, Breed. I did almost all of Breed's Flatline album.
Okay.
That was the one after New Breed, but I was there during New Breed. I did. What was Breed's brother? Oh, DFC.
Yeah,
his
the
cousin.
DFC.
Yeah, I did the DFC's second single off their album. It was called Listen 5 Minutes. They used a record that they did with MC8 for their first single just because it was MC8. It wasn't because it was a better record. And D.O.C. wrote the lyrics to. So me and Doc had this run where every time I produced for somebody, he was writing the lyrics.
Okay.
And people don't know that, right? So
Let me ask you a question. He was instrumental on that New Breed, huh?
very.
I could hear it.
And on
Flatline.
Flatline. So Breed and Doc became best friends, and Doc needed to work, and that's what everybody went to Breed for. When you needed to work,
Yes.
Breed was like, write that, and then you go up in the office and tell them whatever you want. They're gonna call me and ask me to approve it. I'm gonna just say yeah. So that's also when I got my crash course in how the game go. When Breed said, "You want 20,000 for this song? Go tell them 30,000 and give me 10." There's a lot of that going on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a lot of that, and
I don't mind.
that's a beautiful thing.
I don't mind.
If I can get what I want,
Yes.
I'll get you what you want.
It's
from your
beautiful. But niggas don't think like that in
people.
Dallas.
Yeah,
Oh, he trying to get me.
yeah.
He trying to get
I'll
me.
give you 5.
Yeah.
You know, whatever.
100.
Yeah. Nah, see, and that was the thing, man. Like when I listened to Will talk,
Yeah.
I realized like as much as I'm connected in Dallas, as many people as I know, I don't have the Dallas music stories like Will does because I caught on early. Like,
Oh, you was
I
way
need
young.
to get the fuck out of here.
At 18, you was in Cali.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because ain't no money here. And I'm just giving away music. And I'm good enough to be up there where this rap music just started getting us paid. Because, we wasn't making money
No, when
in
nobody
rap
make money.
at first. And so, like, I saw the money grow,
The only way you was making money was on shows.
Yeah.
Basically like it is now, but
Yeah.
for show back then,
But then I went through that era where we getting $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 per song, per track. From
well,
this
that's because
record.
you was a producer.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. Not the rapper. Not
I was the producer
artist.
and the rapper, just the rapper
Behind
giving
the
the
scenes.
voice to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would be in there writing the songs. So I'm just like when I make a track, it immediately tells me what should be on it. So if the artist ain't there, I just write it.
Wow.
Then when they come in, I'll be like, here go the beat, here go the lyrics. Say them like this.
I know that's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's a true producer.
Yeah.
You're not a beat maker.
No. And then, so I want to say this before I forget. I'm about to do an album with Chino XL.
Chino X. Oh, yeah, I saw y'all talking.
Oh,
I saw y'all
be crazy.
You posted on Facebook.
Yeah. So we've been friends we've been brothers since both of us got on.
Yeah.
Since he got on,
Yeah.
I was already on. So we were doing the promo tour for Helter Skelter. So Warner Brothers had us on a promo tour, and he was on Warner Brothers. So he was on some of our stops.
Okay.
And when I heard that man rap, I was like, shit.
Oh, Chino.
We need to work together. So then Chino lawyered up with the same entertainment lawyer that I got.
Okay.
So that was our reconnect. And then we've been connected ever since. And he started acting, and his agent talked him into doing an album with the RZA. That's why we didn't do an album in the 90s. And I tried to tell him, like, hey, bro,
No.
you from the East Coast, and that shit is the same shit that ain't working for you right now. So probably, do it for your own pleasure, but don't expect it to get paid from it.
And he didn't.
No, he did not. People don't even know he did that. He got an album called Reconstruction that he did on the West with some of my family out there. And that shit is banging. And so that's the thing I got to outdo, because the Reconstruction album is sick. And this And this new album that he and I are doing, it's a labor of love. We're going to go get the money after we do the record.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I guarantee you we'll go get the money because Chino got love all over the place. You know what I'm saying? I know we're going to go get a check, but it was important to me. He's the only artist this year that I'm working with outside of my kids because I only work with my kids right now. My sons are
What's their projects that they're working on?
On January 2nd, my oldest boy, he calls himself Everyday Tony. He's got an album coming out called Crimes and Good Food. And then him and his younger brother, the middle boy.
What's his name?
We call him Reason. That's the one that's on Snake's album. Yeah.
Yes.
He and his older brother, they have an album coming out. What is the name of that shit? It's crazy. It's called The Adventures of Don Tonio and the Mr. Sandman or something like that. It's crazy, but the shit is dope. And then the middle boy and my younger boy, the 14-year-old, they have an album.
So Lil Man rapping.
Like that dude is the spark in our family. Yes. Yeah. So that's why I say my daughter thinks she's a star, but the 14-year-old boy, that's the guy.
Wow.
Yeah. That's the guy. But all of them have their own star power. Like separately, all these boys are just insane. My middle boy is our Kendrick. If we had to compare him, he's our Kendrick, our J. Cole. He's on that level. But my boy, my 14-year-old, that's the one that's current with all of this, the little slang and swag and all of that. Yeah. And his attitude depicts that. My older boy is more like me. And so he and I have an album out now we have a group called Gunshot Residue.
Oh, wow.
Oh, really?
And the album been out for about a year. It's crazy. We did it in 30 days on purpose. Like we always focus on every detail in this record. Let's just do one in 30 days and put it out.
Oh, yeah. Let's feel it.
Yeah, and we did. It's one of my favorite albums.
Now, I got one more question for you. You being around all these people, and I know you met Pac.
Yeah, a lot of times.
You never tried to get no placements?
I did.
Oh, I figured you might.
Of course I did. I just can't.
Okay. That's what I was.
I got 2 big ones and then some more.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'll tell you off camera, but
you can't talk about it.
I can, but I choose not to. It just don't make no sense to do it in public. I can do it in private.
Gotcha.
But I will share this. People don't like when you do it either. The Pac y'all think y'all know ain't the Pac I know.
It was cool, wasn't it?
He was cool, but I don't see him.
He wasn't gangster?
I didn't see all that. I didn't see all that revolutionary, and I didn't see all.
Oh, you didn't see I thought he was more revolutionary than gangster.
He can talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm talking about living it.
Yeah, he didn't do it.
I didn't see that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but maybe other people's, experiences. But I'm starting to hear more and more of our brothers come out and tell the truth about that.
Oh, yeah.
All you got to do is watch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But, like, people need a hero.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Especially in the black community.
People need a hero. And I'm sitting here going, the night that he shot the cops in Atlanta, I was there. I wasn't with him.
Yeah.
We were waiting on him to go out with Breed, and I think Doc was there, DFC was there. They were all waiting on Pac, and that happened that night. And I had taken my son Reason with me. He was only like 6 months, so I traveled with my kids when they were babies. Without their mother, I would take them with me. And that particular night, I had Breed's wife was going to watch him for me. And they took so long to go out, I decided not to go because my boy had already fallen asleep. He's 6 months old. I didn't want him to wake up and I wasn't there.
Yeah.
Shit like that. So next morning, I hear everybody buzzing, and it was about, Pac shooting the cop.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So also during that time, Pac spazzed out at the record label too on that trip. Them people try to play, try to act like they didn't have his money. He went up there and spazzed out up there. So I ain't saying that he wasn't. I ain't saying he was fake. I'm just saying what y'all seeing got that B12 on it. You know what I'm saying?
Got that
blow up on it.
Oh yeah. So let's talk about this new podcast that's about to come.
Yes, sir. It's called the Most Ruthless Podcast. And it's going to be a cross between like Howard Stern, my own comic personality, and some XXX shit. I might have anybody come on that show.
Already.
Like, it's just going to be like a day in my life every time we do a show.
Already.
And my life has a lot of characters in it. And somebody was telling me one day about interviews or whatever, and I had to, that's when I had to realize, like, I don't even plan on talking about music on this show. Not central. It's not the central.
That's not the focal point.
Yeah.
Already.
Of course, if my brothers and sisters who do music want to come on, they can come on and we'll talk. We'll play around. But as far as playing songs, that's probably not going to happen.
Already.
Including my own records, We're going to do an intro song. That's the outro song. And I'm still haven't decided if that's going to be me, one of my sons, or somebody we give a chance to outside of the family.
Gotcha.
We still trying to figure that out.
Now, speaking of your own music,
Yeah.
got to hit you with that question.
Yeah.
Of the songs you can share,
Your songs.
your songs.
Yeah.
What's your top 3?
Oh my God. I got a trilogy called Golden Chopper, and all 3 of those are my favorites.
Really?
Yeah. Golden Chopper 3 is not out yet, but y'all need to hear it. It is crazy.
When is it gonna be out?
Okay, so my new album is called Ruthless, but it's the soundtrack to my first cologne called Ruthless.
Okay.
So whenever we have the cologne bottled and packaged, that's when I'm going to set the date for the release of the album, so they come out together.
Already.
Yeah. So the Ruthless King and all this Ruthless stuff started from the cologne.
Already.
It started as a marketing thing for the cologne. It just
How much the cologne gonna cost a bottle?
Well,
It's gonna be like
probably
Creed.
about 400.
I need to.
Oh, it's gonna be
smell
like
it.
Creed.
Probably 400 a bottle. That's the price I think I'm
I
selling.
need to
on.
smell it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you do. He need to wear it, and y'all probably gonna cancel y'all shows for about a month because y'all gonna not want to leave the house. You ain't gonna let him leave
Ooh,
the house.
I need to
It got
smell
some.
that.
It got some endorphins in
It
it.
got
You
all
should have
kind
had
of
that
stuff
in
in
your
it.
bag.
Aphrodisiacs in it.
Got all kind of stuff in it. So the bottle, man, is cool, man. My team been working on it, and
You posted it, right?
yeah, the bottle shaped like an R. The cap has my hand logo on it, and in the middle where the hole in the R is, I'm a Cancer, so my birthstones are 2, diamond and ruby. We put a ruby in the middle of the hole of the R. So when you stand it up, it's a big capital R standing bottom. For my first cologne, I think that's pretty cool.
That is cool, man. That was in my first cologne.
Yeah, because I got the backup already.
You got to get a ladies
I
perfume.
need to
It's
smell
it's
it.
unisex.
Oh,
Yeah, so she can wear it too, and
That's
you gonna
fine.
want to let her.
I need to
Oh, it's
smell
like
it.
bond number 9.
Yeah.
It's like bond number 9.
So everything I do is unisex. The clothes, all that. I don't have time to be trying to make one for her and one for him.
Yeah.
We're finna just make it for everybody.
Hope it fit.
Yeah. Well, we did start a ladies Ruthless Queen line, and we only focus on having fits that fit more for the ladies. But the Ruthless King and the joggers and all that, they are unisex, and you just have to figure out if you're small, medium, or large.
Oh, gotcha. You got some shout outs, big brother?
I do. I want to shout out to my eWorld multimedia team because they the ones, man, they make my whole life possible. Like my team, him and my other employees, they do something for me and my children that is just amazing to me. They allow me to be a hands-on father by being able to count on them to take my ideas. I'm going to create this thing.
Yeah.
I create this, you go and put it together.
Bring it to life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they do that, and it allows me to do all of those adventures with the kids. You know what I'm saying?
And that's priceless.
Oh, yeah. And so I want to shout out to everybody at eWorld Multimedia. Got a shout out to Snake because that's just brother shit.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about him. I can't see you without thinking about Snake.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So of course, Will Fresh for telling me to come up here and sticking around while I talk.
Yeah.
I'd have been pissed off if he'd have left.
Nigga, you talked all that time and
Yelled
left.
at his ass and yelled at
Not
his ass
you,
all
but
the
me.
way to the house.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to shout out to K Flex, man, because that's my, like I tell people all the time, that dude right there, that's my Alfred.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And people be like, oh, so he just do everything you say. Y'all need to study who Alfred was.
Mad
That was a
scientist.
bad motherfucker.
Yeah,
A
he
mad
was.
scientist.
You know what I'm saying? That's Alfred over there. That's not no fucking...
He ain't no butler.
No.
Yeah.
He ain't no Mr. French.
No.
Y'all remember Mr. French?
Yeah. He was a game changer.
Already.
You know what I'm saying? And one of the most loyal people I've ever known in my life.
Already, man.
And so
you need that.
Yeah, shout out to my kids, of course, because they all, when they see this, you know, they're going to expect to hear that if I'm shouting out. So shout out to Reason, shout out to Everyday Tony, shout out to Levi, the Young Dragon,
Levi.
GG, Daddy Loves You.
Y'all subscribe to the channel.
Yeah, y'all all subscribe because y'all going to be on the show too.
Yeah. Bring them on.
And then, you know, I got to shout out to their mother. I tell her all the time, you know, even though we're not married anymore, thank you for these fucking kids. You know
I was on your social media the other day. You sure got a lot of recent
Women?
pictures. No, her.
Of the baby?
Mama.
I ain't got no. I got pictures of her, but that's
Up
they
at
old.
the top. Yeah, I know.
They
Yeah,
old.
it's like you reposted
You
them.
talking about on my homepage?
Bro, when you go to your photos and you hit uploads, I'm talking about the first 20 pictures of y'all together. Oh, I could tell they old
That
pictures.
had to be from an album then.
No.
Because I ain't. She'll get mad as hell if I post a picture of her right now.
No, it ain't posted. It ain't posted. You know, we'll talk about it out there.
Yeah.
Man,
But yeah, that is definitely a thing of the past. I am single.
and ready to mingle.
You hear me?
Throwing it out there.
If you look, what you need to be looking at is the comments. That's
Hey.
Already. I see you on there wilding all the time.
yeah. And because it draws them in.
Yeah.
It draws them in. Like,
But you've been drawing in the wrong crowd. Something I see. I had this girl ask me this.
that's strategy. That's strategy. That's me getting people ready for the podcast.
Okay.
Because the podcast can be wide open like that.
Okay.
Some of that stuff is old stuff.
I got you.
And I'm sitting there one day and it hits me, oh, you could turn that into this kind of joke.
Oh, got you.
Yeah.
Yeah. He be airing them out.
Airing the ass out.
If you want to be with me, you don't need to ask me this type of shit.
All right. And then they get in the inbox like, I would never ask you that.
Awesome.
Well, come on over.
All that.
Let's say, man, I sure appreciate you coming.
Yeah, man.
Man, me too.
Bring young Levi.
Yep.
I need reasons up here.
Yeah.
When you bring Gigi, I have my little one up here.
Yeah.
And they can just tab the other room.
Love
you know
it.
what I'm talking about?
She'll love it. She'll love
Already,
it.
man.
So one other thing, like I said, Everyday Tony, January 2nd, Crimes and Good Food comes out on every platform. It's been out on just my website.
Yeah.
But Dad went in there, remixed, remastered.
Already.
And done some beat changes and some song additions. So it's a new album in a way. And then my show, The Most Ruthless Podcast, starts January 2nd. Then
Y'all be on the lookout.
yeah, and then the two oldest boys, Reason and Everyday Tony, they dropped in June, their group album. It's done, but I'm making them continue to work to make sure we said everything we got to say.
There you go.
There you go.
Levi's-
Don't stop writing and don't stop recording.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, and Levi has had singles out, but his first album comes out. I think I'm gonna drop that around March.
Okay.
So all of them have
very
albums
good
pretty
month.
much done.
Yeah, drop it on my birthday.
So we call it before anybody else steal it. I'm gonna say it on the air.
Say it.
and then you're gonna see the marketing campaign behind it. This is our family's Jordan year, 23.
23.
This is our Jordan year. This is what y'all gonna see on our marketing stuff.
23.
Our Jordan year with a big 23 behind us.
That's
beautiful.
what's up.
Yeah.
Let the people know how to get in touch with you.
You can hit me on Instagram at Erotic D, all one word, EROTICD. Twitter is Erotic D1. I don't really check Twitter though.
No.
I am on Facebook at Erotic D. I don't mess with the Erotic D page much, but the other page you might not remember is Dion Gabriel. That's my, if you want to play around with me, you want to get some of these jokes in your life.
Yeah.
But if you follow me on Instagram, my Facebook is connected to that. So everything that I post on Facebook goes to Instagram at the same time. So you won't miss anything.
Man, this was an incredible story.
Absolutely.
I sure appreciate you coming through,
And I
bro.
appreciate y'all having me.
Can you come back?
I can come back because we skipped some things.
I know it. It's too much
yeah,
to try to
y'all-
cram in.
Yeah.
I try to keep my people, the fans, you know how they are. Everybody is instant coffee, instant everything. They want to fast. So I try to keep it to where they can not get bored. So you got to come back.
Yeah.
We'll talk about current events. We'll talk about...
By that time, maybe me and Dre will be done pull this other thing together and I can talk about it.
Come on.
I'm still trying to...
Pray for it.
Still trying to do this thing with Dre and I'll be able to talk about that.
Come on. I feel you, man. Well, say, bro, I tell my people who come and sit at that table, at this table, I want to get you rubbing that.
I did that, Rudy.
No, I gotta get on camera. I gotta get on camera.
Started. Like, this was my, this is my wood.
Even though we not gonna do nothing this year, Cowboys.
You never know.
You never know.
I will never speak like that about that stuff.
I mean, I'm just a realist. Y'all remember the realist? I'm just a realist.
Oh my God! Don't get me talking about the realist.
Stop it, bro. Say, man, I appreciate you coming through, man. You are a super tight guest.
Know I'ma get some game tuned in with super tight, yeah. I get the low from Big Bobo, from the front seat, not no photos.